Hello, everyone. AJ, the CEO here. Hope you are doing well. I normally don't do this because it's been so many years since I've, had to deal with it. But man, it's Friday. But the days don't really matter. I mean, it's like the work never ends. So anyway, folks, thank y'all for stopping by. AJ, the CEO. We try and come here every Friday to try and answer some questions to help you with your media ministry journey. Again, I don't know everything, folks, but hopefully the little bit that I do know will make your journey a little bit easier. And I think I dropped my other phone. Putting them on silent so I won't be interrupted here. But anyway, folks, I hope y'all are all doing well. I see a bunch of people chiming in, which I appreciate. And I need to turn the heat down in here because it is warm. Give me 1 second, folks. Give a shout out to everybody here. Just know if I'm not able to get to your question, folks, please email me at questions@ajhomes.com. Give me 48 to 72 hours. I still, in the amount of years, I still have not found where this template is, so I might have to make it all over again. But if you have questions, folks, email me at questions@ajhomes.com. If the email takes more than 3 emails, please set up a consultation. You can go do that at ajhomes.com/consultations. Now, with that being said, I've changed up my schedule a little bit for my mental well-being. Consultations, unless you've already booked it, consultations now are only Tuesday through Thursdays. That's the window of time that I do those. I am forcing myself to give myself some more time to relax. I'm pouring and pouring, and I need to take time to pour back into myself. So Fridays, I don't do anything because I'm doing this with y'all. Saturdays, office hours for my company are from 9 to 3. And during the week, my business is Tuesday through Thursday, 9 to 6. So I've changed the office number, so you should be able to leave voicemails after hours and all this other stuff like that. But I just needed to do that because I've been pulling myself in way too many directions, and I'm actually feeling it. So that's why I've made that. My schedule opens up in April, so you'll start seeing that. I've seen some people already book some stuff, so that is it. So my time is Tuesday to Thursdays. Any type of on-sites, pretty much you can book if it fits in those days. If you need anything else, please contact me, and then we'll work, and I'll manually schedule you for those times. Need to get some more time for me and my baby girl, and then some other stuff as well, too. What else am I forgetting? If you're not a part of the Facebook group, folks, go to Facebook and look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy. Answer the 3 questions, and you are in like Flynn. That's it. Don't live stream inside the group, and help, because whatever equipment you got, I'm sure somebody else in the world, out of the 3,200 media ministries out there, somebody has got the same stuff that you got. And give me 1/2 a second, because the heat is like cranking down here. And I definitely need to turn that down with all these lights and all this other stuff. The weather's been all over the place here in Richmond, so we got that. And I think that is about it. All the formalities are out of the way. Let's go ahead and holler at some folks. LifeSpring Films and TV, hello. I'll get to y'all's questions. Please make sure when you send a question, you put that Q in front of it so it makes it stand out. And if you're just joining, drop where you're coming from, so you never know. You might have some other people that are there in your same area. You know who I am. Good morning. Akon, hello from London. Keith, hello, hello. Brother Leroy, hello. Damon, hello from Texas. Agile Graphics, hello. Jay, hello, hello. Mr. Clarence, how you doing? Dr. JMM, hello, hello. Mike from Ontario, Canada, hello. Darius, what's going on? Parker, hello, hello. Brian, and yes, I am messing with you. Let me see. Let me cut over to that actual camera. We do have a toy. It's meant for me. I've actually printed out a couple of things, and this is for something setting up because my daughter is into crafts, and she loves computers, so I was mixing this. So yes, we finally did get a 3D printer. I am printing out a low poly unicorn for her, hopefully to be able to give it to her tomorrow when I see her. And again, this is only my 3rd print, and as you can see, it looks like that extrusion right there is causing a little issue, having a whole bunch of hair and all this other stuff all over the place. So we might have to print that again. It says it's going to take about like 3 hours to print that, so we'll be back. Check that out. We have printed out a few other things. I'm still learning it. I'm just printing stuff that's been made already, but notice some other things. Need to get to the point where I can make my stuff myself, but we're going to get to there. Jerry, hello, hello. Alternate of Lagos, hello. Stephen, hello. G. Albert, good morning. Pastor Daniel, good morning from Chicago. And you got snow. Interesting. John, hello. Well qualified to represent the LBC. Now, which LBC is that? Is that Long Beach, California, or the LBC I know is Lynchburg City? That's what I always call it. Mom's Video, hello, hello, and Rudolph, hello, hello. All right, folks, so let's go ahead and get at it. But if you don't mind, I see we got 38 people online, but we only got 11 likes. If you don't mind hitting that like button, it's very small. That's all I ask for you to do. That way it lets all the YouTubes and the algorithms and all this other stuff push the content out so we can get our goal of 100,000 subscribers. We're aiming for that this year. If we go higher than that, I'm excited about that as well, too. Also, I forgot. We are doing a giveaway until we hit 250,000 subscribers. For every 10,000 subscribers we do, we're going to be doing a live streaming bundle giveaway. That is an A10 Mini Extreme, a PTZ camera, a joystick, a PoE switch, and I think that was it. Anybody can enter. The link is down below, or you can use this one. I keep forgetting to make a QR code for this, but it's right there. If you've already entered, you do not need to enter again because I will purge you out of it. My database stuff will purge you out anyway. What's the other stuff? I forgot. I keep asking this. We haven't gotten a lot, and it's a people I know have some stories, but I don't know if they're shy behind the camera or something like that. But I want to see your viewer stories, folks. What you got going on in your neck of the woods? Go ahead and send me a video. You can put it on YouTube and send it to me. Make it unlisted. Send it to me or whatever. Just make sure there's no music in the background, clear audio so we can clearly understand what you're saying, and tell us what you got going on there. If you're doing something new and all this other fun stuff that you want to let other ministries know about, I think that would be really exciting. Like the mobile studio that I'm going to be doing pretty much with the Anchor batteries and the solar panels and all this other stuff for the graduation. We're going to be documenting that. But, hey, if you're doing something, let me know so I can put it on the platform so other people can know as well, too. And if you're proud of your team, folks, let's shout out those media teams that are doing all the hard work every service and throughout the week. If you can email me at questions@ajhomes.com, make the subject my media teams in the picture, put your location and your ministry, and I want to shout y'all out. And let me go back to here. This email needs to go to info@ajhomes.com and make it the subject viewer stories. And I think that is about it. All right, Brandon, hello, hello. All right, let's go to the first question here. Hi, AJ the CEO. I'm David Tella, a church media expert in Nigeria, as a matter of fact. Okay. I have learned so much from you on YouTube. I'm reaching you from Lagos, Nigeria. Awesome. And I need your email address to convey my message. I hope it's not spam because you will get blocked. And like I said, you need to, if you want to email me at questions@ajhomes.com. You send me some junk, anybody sends me some junk, you are permanently banned from ever contacting me in any way, shape, or form. But if you got a legitimate question, go ahead, fire away. Akon, I think you asked this last week, but we'll go ahead and do it again. Is it possible to connect your phone to your ATEM wirelessly or wired? Yes, if your phone supports it. The ATEM cannot be connected directly wirelessly. Last week I did a video on the Ori wireless extender, HDMI extender. If your phone can have clean HDMI out and connect to one of those, then yes, it can. If it's wired and you still have a connection that goes from, like my iPhone using the Blackmagic camera app, I can connect it, but I need to have a dongle that connects to this and gives me an HDMI out. So yes, but you would need other devices to connect it wirelessly, and it's mainly dependent on, does your phone or tablet or whatever offer pure, clean HDMI out. And why is this mic loose? Sorry about that. Let's see. You know who I am. I'm still having issues with the animated lower thirds in the Bible. Everything docks and shows up in OBS, but when I trigger it, nothing happens. I unblocked everything. Please help. Not exactly sure. Jason Hoffman, thank you for the sub. Greatly appreciate it. Let's see. I am not 100% sure what that could be because, I mean, we walked through that. Let me turn this off. So if I turn on enable the animated lower thirds, that's mine right there. I would say the other thing when it comes to your animated lower thirds, where are you placing the files? For whatever reason, this acts up sometimes. Like when you put your file location, see, you could pick anywhere where your files are, but it never worked for me. So I always had to put it in a particular location. And I'm sorry, I'm looking up at the security cameras. I'm expecting a big set of packages for TCF, their sound system. There, for all y'all that kept messing with me with the X32, they actually got SQ5 and some subs and a bunch of stuff. And sadly, I actually ordered the wrong PTZ cameras. I got two PTZ cameras, and I didn't realize that I ordered the 12X instead of the 20X. So right after this, I got to return them. But so I place all my files in one location. But like when I have to do the logos, if I don't place my logo here, so like for example, this is where I'm pulling it from the logo. But let me change it where I actually have it, like on my NAS. And if I pick this logo from here, for whatever reason, sometimes it does not work. And of course, it'll work now. But I think because it's looking at that other file location. So let me actually delete it from there. Actually, let's just move it up a layer. And I don't know, maybe they fixed it. I used to have an issue with that. But one thing I would say is cycle through this and just make sure that all the settings you could go to different types of lower thirds and see if that works. Again, make sure the main is checked off. But I don't know. And then when it comes to the Bible one, that should be pretty straightforward because that's just a web page. What I would do is close out of OBS, open it up as administrator, and see if you still get that. And then also, what you could also do to make sure everything is working. So here in the Bible one, you know, make sure that you can pull this. Can you open up that address directly? That's the only thing I can think of. And again, I'm sorry for leaning back right here. I'm trying not to lean forward that much. But yeah, I don't know. That's strange. That's the only thing I could think of. But if you still have any issues, let me know, and we'll just try and walk through it as well. JD, question, good morning. Our church is using 3 Famaco cameras with AI following. Which PoE switch would you recommend? We need an 8-port for 32 mixer and router. We have maxed out our 5-port. Well, what I typically use, especially if you're looking for ones for PoE, I've stuck with this brand for quite a while, and I use it personally, and every install uses them. That is the BV Tech. This one right here is, I use this all the time. This is an 8-port, and then with one import uplink that you could use. You could go with this one, but I mean, you could save yourself $9 here. Either one of them will work. This gives you 2 uplinks if you want to, but this is the one that I've used mainly because I can put the ears, legs, whatever you call them, on here, and I can rack mount it. I actually have that for TCF that came in yesterday, as you can see when I ordered it. I will put a link there, and this one works very, very well. 120 watts. That is more than enough power for 3 cameras and a joystick. You'll still have plenty of space after that. Francisco, you know, you came in a little bit late, so I got to mess with you. You like Brian. So, of course, the camera now moved. No, I'm using the wrong camera. There you go. Hope you like that there, Francisco. See, that's something else that you can go to Micro Center and get. I will put a link to the PoE switch here. And again, I've used them many a times. Really like them. And all that other good stuff. Let's see. Let's go back here to Akon. Where do you recommend to get the best video presentation templates? Basically, different transitions so show a preaching message given by the pastor to post on social media. Everything that I get is from Envato Elements. That's what I've been getting from them. I've been using them for 4 years, 5 years. This is where I get all my stuff from. All the graphics that you've seen, everything that I've used here comes from there. Even some of the original stuff that's still used at some of the ministries I used to be at, they still use that, and I got it from here. You can always look. Now, I haven't done it in a while, so Envato actually owns a bunch of other websites, so like Video Hive, Audio Jungle, Code Canyon, Theme Forest. It's a bunch of them that they have here. And I haven't done this in a while, but I recommend anybody go to one of these sites, because if you scroll all the way down, unless they've changed it, they give out free stuff every single month. So they have this music that you can get. I used to do that for a long time, and I built up my whole inventory from the stuff that was free. So you get music that has a license, 3D furniture. You have a corporate video package. You have website themes, and you have fonts. And they give this out every single month, new ones every single month. So like if I go to the video presentation, I will mute that. And see, I like that because it's actually red. So I'm definitely going to get this because it's free. Presentation. So, it's just like, this is more, looks like this would be something for a digital signage or something like that. I mean, you could use it as a presentation. But, like I said, I used to get this from them for years. And you just add to your repository of free stuff. So here's a health supplement website. You could repurpose this for a bunch of things. You can turn it into a website for a book, anything like that. So again, free stuff. The one I use, Envato Elements, that's like $150, $190 a year, and it's unlimited downloads. I can use them for clients, anything like that. But that is where I get all of my stuff from, and I'm going through here and downloading all my free stuff because I haven't done it in a minute. Did I do that one? Then I don't need the three. Well, I don't know. I'm messing with 3D stuff now, so maybe I'll use that. And then we got some music. I'm not gonna play that. But again, that's where I get a lot of the stuff from, and all of my graphics pretty much is where I get from Envato Elements or one of their subsidiaries. Let's see. Mike. So what are the top 10 for me uses for 3D printer? All right. So Mike, let me show you what my first couple of things I've printed were. Hold on, let me disconnect this for a second. All right, so the first thing that I actually printed was a replacement ring for my access point. Because I have an AP Pro right beside me over here, but I gave the mount away when I needed to mount somebody else's at a church because I'm like, I can't mount anything here. So I made this, and then also made a mount for this so that it can set up like this. Now, the only thing is this wasn't strong enough because the little tabs where this goes through actually broke off. That's the first thing that I'm using. So media ministry for me, what I'm using this for is replacement parts, little stuff like this. The door access that I had to buy from somebody else that actually 3D printed the door access that I did at Gates of Faith. That is actually a door frame 3D printed so that it sits onto the brick instead of me having to cut through the brick. There's other little things, little hobbies and knickknacks and doodads. The other thing is my daughter likes space just like me, and I've done model rocketry with her, so we're going to be building some rockets there. But you got to think about it. You can actually make other keychains, any giveaway stuff that you normally would have to buy in bulk, you could make. Granted, it's going to take time, but I mean, all you would really do is buy a roll of filament, and then you can make it. Um, that's what I like. You can make one-off things. I'm actually trying to learn. I did CAD when I was in high school. I actually first got into CAD when it got on the computer when I was doing drafting and stuff like that. I wanted to be an engineer, but actually originally I was going to be an astronaut and then an engineer. But anyway, got into CAD, so I need to refresh myself with AutoCAD and FreeCAD and the ones like that, and I want to start making my own stuff, rockets, or more importantly, mounts and unique stuff for my installs that I do, or little mounts for ATEMs and places for vents. The other project was to have make some type of stabilizer for PTZs. So, I mean, it's little stuff that I would do for like the media ministry. You can actually, they have stuff where you can actually make neon signs with 3D printed. So it's a lot of stuff. So an on air, we're recording type sign, using like mics like this. When you're doing interviews, you can actually 3D print kind of like the news box that goes around here that says your name and media ministry and stuff like that. It's tons of stuff that you can do with it. That's what I plan to do with that. Mr. Clarence, do you know if Unified Talk phones can be run using the UDM Pro and without a UI subscription? Yes, it actually can. That's how I used mine before I actually had the Talk. I have Talk for my business phone, but I have a phone upstairs and I have a fax machine behind me. And originally, and this might even be something that goes at Gates of Faith, but intentionally, you can use them to where they can just talk to each other. So it's internal communications. So I'm playing and doing some real dorky stuff right now, trying to mess with this camera. So let me see if this works. I had this extra mount, so I was just trying to use this. So yay, this is my floating camera that I'm using. But like, here's my Talk phone right there, and the UDM Pro can actually run multiple apps. So yes, it can, and it doesn't need a subscription. You just can't have an outgoing number. You can call internally all day long. So I think that's the reason I was trying to do that. So let's see if I come back over here and all right, let me see if I can call the phone upstairs. I think I need to look up the extension because I don't remember it off the top of my head. Give me 1 second. That's assignments. Extension. What is it? Oh, it's extension 2. So like I can come in here. So now that's ringing the phone upstairs. So I can have all the stuff going internally, and yes, you would install the app, but a subscription is not needed for that. And again, all this is my camera on the my boom mic, the one I used to have here. That's all. Oh, and by the way, I uploaded the video. It hasn't done yet, but if I turn this around again, hold on, I'm loosening this so I can move it. We have the ATEM 2ME Constellation. I actually did the unboxing and review of that right before this started. So it's live. Well, it's not live yet. I'm actually need to finish doing all the other stuff, the description and all that other stuff. But really cool. It does have a couple of issues. That is the video switcher that's being installed at TCF Ministry as well too. But instead of me blabbing, I hope that answers your question there, Mr. Clarence. Question was, how do I bring in social media live? That is with vMix, and I shouldn't have turned this camera off. So let me turn this on so I can walk around. All right, so a lot louder in here because you pick up my fan compared to this. But if we switch over and turn that off, so right now that app all the way over there, that app right there, that is vMix Social. It is linked to my YouTube, as you can see, is green, and then that activates that scene right there, and that's what brings it up. So when I bring up your question, if I could zoom out, when I bring up your question again, I am going to click on the view right here that shows me all the comments. I go up here to say send. It sends a command that goes to vMix, and boom, that is what you see. That is what I'm using. Hope that helps you. And I guess I should have switched over to the camera before I turned that off. Let me go back to this mic instead. Way too much air. Because normally I have my lavalier on this. G. Albert, is this the first time that you applied purple lights in your background? No, actually it's blue. And it's just the mix of the red and blue is actually doing that. But no, I actually used to do that a lot. I just recently started back doing that. Let's see. Rudolph here. Good morning, AJ. My PTZ keeps flipping upside down on its own during recording. Any reason why? First, what PTZ do you have? And because some PTZs like the Famacos have an auto balancing. So if you flip it upside down, auto rotating, it will switch over. But I don't know. I've never seen it do that. Unless it's like the battery is dead or something like that and it keeps forgetting those settings, but that's very, very, very rare. Let me know what brand that you're using. That will actually help with that question a little bit more. Let's see. Next one. Antoine. What do you use personally to broadcast HDMI over coax BNC for camera or computer? I just use I use these. Here's a bag of them for the next ministry install. Like I said, TCF. So I am using the Blackmagic SDI to HDMI and HDMI to SDI converters. Those are what I use to send HDMI convert over to SDI or coax RG6. That is what I use. Bruce, hello, hello. The Ray Effect Media. Hail, greetings from Jamaica. How do I send my vMix program out to an external monitor or TV? That is done through your configuration. Let me see if I actually have open up the wrong one, have a license that I can open up on this computer. I don't think I activated it. I should be able to open it here. Hold on 1 second. It didn't work, but I can do this through the trial. Too many trials. What? Come on now. So if you want to do the output, there's going to be your external right here. You go to the gear. You have to just set what you want it to go into which monitor. So external output settings. You would pick your display. So your device, you would pick right there. Let me uncheck this. And you would pick it there. Again, it won't let me do it because this is the trial version. But this is the same way I'm able to do. And see, now I'm realizing I might need to leave this camera on a lot more. So that's exactly what I'm doing right here. So vMix is outputting to this screen so that I see exactly the same thing. So that is in that setting here. You would pick your device of where you're going to and stuff like that. So if I went here to monitor number 2, you just pick which one and then what do you want to go out. You can set it to say I only want to show certain things. Like originally I used to only output the comments. And that's when I had a smaller screen. But now since I was able to get this portable screen that's a little bit bigger and it's closer to me, I just output everything so I can actually see it. So that is it. Really straightforward. I think now again, I know I'm looking at comments that have came in, so please don't ask the same question a couple of times. I'll get to your question. I'm just going through how it comes in order to me. So I got that one, that question. Let's go here. I think I just missed them, but Francisco, hello. Let's go to the next one here. Base Slayer. Question, my live stream is on a matrix sending it to a Blackmagic switcher. For some reason, it's going out to the stream and mono. What mixer are you using? And then can you confirm that it's stereo that you have? And then which switcher are you using? And then we can go from there. There's Francisco. He said, nice, you want to get me in trouble with my wife. Nah, just find a ministry use for it. You know what? Bible bookmarks. There you go. There you go. And you print on, put your own label on it. Boom, there you go. Ministry use. Brian was saying, you're not helping with my gas gear acquisition syndrome. Back to G. Albert. Is it possible to remotely access the Blackmagic HyperDeck so that I can pull the raw video? Yes, actually it is. With the HyperDeck, it actually has a FTP server. So if you wanted to do it remotely, that's actually how I pull when I finish recording. That's how I actually pull the files from my web, my HyperDeck. So I use FileZilla here. And this is actually the recording that I did. So I can come in here, remotely connect to it. And now this is everything that is on my HyperDeck. See, there's a bunch of videos y'all have not seen. So that's where I can pull it from and just drag it over. Now, if you want to do this remotely, you know, I ain't going to go into all the firewall holes. You could put this on a DMZ. You could do a VPN or some type of secure connection so that you can access it from anywhere. But technically, yes, you can do it. Pull the raw. As long as it has network access and you have it properly set up so that you can pull it. Philip Paul, is there any way to cut down the vocal from a song? I'm not gonna assume what popped into my mind first, but yes, there is. But my reasoning will be why. Because if you're now, please say that you want to reduce the vocals in a song that you produced. If you're trying to reduce the vocals of a song that you do not own, you'll still get in trouble for that. I would ask some more audio engineers about that. Now, I mean, back in the day, some of the folks on here, I think like Chuck and some other people who've done radio, back in the day, how they used to do that is when they sent audio, the music would be on the left and right track, but then the person singing is predominantly on both tracks. You would take the song, invert it, and then play it over top, and then it would negate out the person talking. That's how it used to be back in the day. And software can do that. That's how they used to do it on the radio to get rid of the stuff. But that's about as much as I would say about that. RK Creative. Good morning. I'm thinking about buying a video switcher. Okay. Well, which one are you looking at, and what's going to be the main purpose of it? Hey, Sam. Mike wants to know, which printer did I end up getting? I ended up getting the Ender version 3, the Ender 3 version 3 SE. That's the one I got. Again, it was not super expensive. I was looking at this Bamboo Labs one that looked kind of slick, but for me to jump in first off, I didn't want to, break the bank. So I will show you right here. Is very, very marginal. So $169. That is it. So very nice. Actually, no, that's the wrong version. Oh, they moved the price. I didn't pay that much for mine, but that's the one that I got right there. So really excited about how this thing turns out, and wondering what my daughter's gonna think about it when she gets her hands on it. Let's see. So the low poly unicorn is almost done. So we'll see how that turns out. And oh, that's the other thing I didn't show. The other thing that I also got along with that was, hold on, let me go back here. I want to show all my ordering history. We don't want to do that. But they have different types of filament, so I am excited that, and I don't, it's not going to be here in time. This is the other filament that I got. It is a rainbow 3D print filament, a filament that glows in the dark. So this is what I'm going to make her unicorn in, so it stays in her room. And she loves unicorns, so I was going to make 2 of them and then have them flank her bed on her nightstand so they'll glow in the dark. So really cool stuff that you could actually do with it. Yeah, I need to get back into it. I mean, it's so much stuff. Like, I used to be into RC cars, got into drones and all this other stuff. Now, this is what I'm thinking. These kids is so spoiled. Growing up, I'd break my He-Man doll or my G.I. Joe, and do you know what it would have been to been able to have a 3D printer and just make the part again that you got broke instead of having to throw the whole toy away? Or more importantly, my daughter's into Legos too. Make your own custom Lego block if it doesn't exist, if you're trying to build something. Wait a minute, Brandon, you're saying share the phone app again. Which phone app are you talking about? I don't recall going over. Which one? Let me know. Oh, okay. Let me go back here to RK Creative. Wants to know, trying to decide on between the A10 Mini and the Ghost Stream. Well, it all depends. The Ghost Stream has more features built into it than the standard A10 Mini Pro, because it can stream to more places than the A10 Mini Pro can. And it does have some other features that it doesn't. The good thing is they're both the same price. So the A10 Mini Pro is $295. The Ghost Stream is $295. Again, the Ghost Stream, you can just put an SD card into it and record, and you don't need an external drive compared to the A10. I would say try out the Ghost Stream. I mean, worst case scenario, if you don't like it, you can always return it. That's what I would say. Had to wait till me. Hey, no, you're fine. Oh, you must be a new subscriber. I got you. But thank you for joining. Francisco, which PTZ video camera would you recommend to use where the lighting is not that great? The Famacos have worked well for me, and the E20s have been relatively good in low light. The SMT AVs work as well too. Those ones that I would probably say. The PTZ Optics is very good as well too, but again, you're gonna pay the price for that one. But the not the E. Well, I said it. Let me take this back. Not the AVCan's E20, but the step right above that one. Those should be fine. Almost all of them are pretty much around the same in quality, to be quite honest. G. Albert, what are your thoughts on installing OBS Presenter from Google Drive? I'm not following you. Meaning you just copy the files there and you download it there? Let me know. I'm not understanding what you're asking. Matthew, can you connect things like the Osmo Pocket 3 and Action 4 to the A10 Mini? The Osmo Pocket, unless either one. Now, I do have the smaller DJI camera, and I did have one of the other ones, but they didn't have a dedicated output. Just like with your cameras, you need to have something that gives you a dedicated HDMI out or something like that. If you don't have that, then no, you're not going to be able to connect them. Back to Sam. I am window capturing a camera in Windows 10 into OBS. Is there a way where I can see the coordinates of that window so that I can apply the same values after a Windows update? Honestly, output, what you could do is just save your scene, and then that keeps the coordinates in there automatically. And that's how I do the OBS bundles. It saves everything in this location. If you export the scenes in OBS, it will keep those coordinates of that for you. Back to Antoine. Do you use the Blackmagic HDMI to SDI for certain feet? Honestly, I use those when it's in hazardous conditions. Like if it's in an attic that has a lot of mildew, or it might have some rodents or animals in there, I put those because they're tougher to go through instead of fiber optic. And then anything that's over 170 feet, I go to SDI because I've used fiber optics I've used fiber optic cable, HDMI cable at 300 feet, but it just gets kind of hard to manage because it's not stiff. So a stiff cable. So I normally go to that if it's something over 170 feet. I go to SDI for that. And we got some more stuff coming in because it jumped right when I was getting ready to get to here. Kurt, 4 years ago, I learned from you the trick of using a 1080p HDMI dongle to trick the laptop for PowerPoint to NDI. Do you still do this? What do you use for NDI capture Windows and Mac? I haven't had to use that in a while, but I use NDI on both because my Mac is over here. She don't get that much use. I use mainly for After Effects, but I use NDI for both, and it could either work, and yes, I still use that when needed. Edwin. They have STEM separating apps and software now. I'm not understanding what you're saying. My apologies. Back to base layer. My church is using an X32 and it's on a Matrix 5 and 6. It's going to the Blackmagic switcher. Huh. And from the Matrix, it is showing. Now, what output? That's strange. Because if you're sending a Matrix, if the Matrix is set up as stereo and it's coming out, I mean, it should be the exact same thing. The only time I've seen where that didn't do that right is if you're not bringing in both of those. Now, what is that route? What outputs is that Matrix routed to? Is that routed to the XLR 5 and 6 out or something different? Or how is that connected? How is that routed? Excuse me. Mitch Roy, hello, hello. Naomi, hello. Want to start recording videos for promotions to post on our social media platforms. I want to start off with an iPhone, but I'm looking for a wireless clip-on microphone systems. What do you recommend? I haven't had this. I have not done a review on this because I've been so busy and haven't set down the time. But the DJI wireless mic is what I would recommend. Now I'm a see. This is why I should leave this camera on. All right, 5. All right. The reason I say that because inside of here, you got your two. You got your two mics, you got your receiver, but you also have USB, so you can actually connect this to a your phone. So, for example, like when I would use my recording from here, I take the receiver out here, and the sliver right here slides off, and then I can put on the one for my iPhone. There is one for Android, and then I can just clip on to this right here, and now that becomes an option for a mic on here. So now when I'm recording from here, I can put this on me and then put the second one on whoever needs to be talking. And then you can actually have the recording on there. So like, for example, if I come in here and go to the Blackmagic camera app, so like from here, I can come in here. Let me switch back over to here. So see, I can come in here and then we're pulling from what mic are we going to be pulling from? So again, see, it's pulling from the wireless mic. So it's actually pulling from this. So if I unplug this, and I don't know if you can actually see that it says that I'm on the wireless there. If I disconnect it, see, now you can see it says on my iPhone right there. So connecting the DJI wireless mic to gives you this option. You'll see it change. So see, now we're on the wireless mic RX. So this is a great option. So you can get very, very good audio from right here using this. And then you have two separate transmitters that you can put on the person and then the other subject. I think that's my other charger that's going off. I was charging my drone. I am presenting at my daughter's school next week for career day. And the kids are excited to be like, oh, my Yanni's daddy is a YouTuber. But again, we're talking about it being from a business standpoint. Hold on one second. Let me unplug this so this beep doesn't keep going off on me. All right. So that's what I would say. The DJI Mic 2, I need to do a review on it. But like I said, getting me to sit down and make some stuff like that is really a mess for me right now. And honestly, real talk, I need to change up how I'm doing some of my videos. I haven't actually started doing the install at Galilee Baptist Church. The Starlink one, I had the Starlink video, and then when I started to edit it, it was just trash. So I'll probably upload that. I might make that like for members and patrons and stuff like that only because I'm not really happy with the video. So I'll probably just do some raw behind the scenes of what those videos look like, and I will let you know. And I was stalling so that I can get over here to this mic here. So again, this is the one that I ordered, Naomi. Again, really, really happy with it. Really haven't had a chance to do a deep dive in it like I want to, but it has been working very, very well for me. I might end up getting the lavalier. It wasn't available when I ordered mine. It does come with a case that's over here to the left of me. Really small, lasts a very long time. Doing very well. And you also can connect to it over Bluetooth. So even if you didn't connect, you could connect it to something else over Bluetooth. So that's really, really cool as well too. So I will put a link down below for that. I mean, it was directly on DJI's website. But I will also put an Amazon link. That is, Amazon. Have Amazon affiliates. Doesn't cost you anything, but we get a little kickback to help pay some of the bills over here. So I will put a link to. I'm sorry, I was making sure I picked the right one because I was like, that doesn't look right. That was the mic one. I will put the Amazon link for there as well too. All right, sweet. Where did I leave off at? Yeah, if it's not being live streamed, I would look at I'm sure it's got to be something like on YouTube on how to do that. I just don't know it. That's the only thing that I know when I dabbled with playing around with that a long time ago. Akon, yes, you did ask me this, but I was saying this all depends. When you say what streaming settings in OBS can you recommend to prevent delay? I can't really recommend that because I can't tell you anything because it's dependent on your upload speed at the given point in time, your computer, and what you're streaming to. The platform. It all depends. Because it could be that your computer is fine, but the upload speed is horrible. Like what church I was working at? Galilee Baptist Church. Their upload speed is horrible. So we're not gonna be able to live stream with that until we finish the Starlink install. But I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard for me to answer that without knowing all of the rest of the details in that. So my apologies, but again, that's kind of like the nature of that. And hold on one second, I'm actually trying to find a video for that. All right, there we go. So real quick, because we ended up having to break it out because we haven't used it in a while. So we're doing the drone and all this other stuff over there, and ultimately, the Starlink ended up being right there because, as you can see, I mean, there's nothing. I mean, perfect line of sight. That tree might be a problem, so I might have to move it over here. But we just didn't have a long enough cable. But we're working on that. That's the project we're doing next week. But really cool. Oh, Brandon, no, that was Unify Talk. That is the Unify Talk component that handles voice over IP phone. So it's not really an app. The app is actually installed on the switch, the network switch. Miriam, what inexpensive DJI drone do you recommend, and what are some ministry uses to convince the church? I used to use this thing all the time, and I started with a bunch of them. So hold on one second. So I started with the Phantom 3 back in the day and crashed it the second time I flew it. I also have the Mavic. That's that one. Haven't flown it in a while because it's dusty. That's actually what I'm charging in the background where I was saying that sound went off. When I got that one, that was my most expensive drone at the time. That was I think $900. We saved up for that. So We ain't got that YouTube crazy income yet. Even then, I think it'll be kind of interesting. And then we got the Mavic 3 Pro. That's the most recent one that does some other stuff. And then the one that I have upstairs that I was just using, that is the Mini. The Mini, I mean, there are other ones that you can get as well too. And what I've used it for in multiple ministries is for B-roll footage. I did tons of stuff with Antioch stuff using those cameras. So like if let's go look them up there. So if I look back at their old stuff, like this one, I mean, I did this whole intro video was done with my drone to do that. So I used to always catch everybody off guard with the shots when we would do different events, layouts of the church, just different stuff. And I actually have it going to music and stuff like that. I used to always do my intros like this. What other stuff do we had? Wedding music. What was that? Yeah, when I was making custom lower thirds, I always was use the shots of the church. So like a lot of these shots were always from the drone. Gives you a different perspective of the ministry. So I would always use them like that. So now, if you're talking about your prices, again, I am not an expert, but granted, I have been flying drones for maybe 10 years now. I was flying it before Ayana was born, and she turns 10 this year. So that's the 4. That's new. So the one that let's actually see what that one has cost. And I'm looking for the one. Yeah, so the Mini is what I have. So that was starting at $470 for that. That's what that works with. This one is new. So I mean, but again, there are other ones that you can pick. You can go with the Mini. You're mainly going to be dependent on the range. The Air is actually a cheaper one as well too. You can't fly it, but so far, and no, not that. No, that's not the right one. That's not the one we were looking at. Let's see, the Air. Oh, maybe I was wrong. Trying to find which one is a good, decent one. Those are plans, so those are not the prices. Yeah, I had to circle back. I mean, I got the 3, and that was a really low cost one. I was hoping to get my daughter into it, and she might get into it. We haven't had a chance to fly that much, but I use it for a lot of B-roll. When we went out to the community and walking, I would be behind everybody and recording aerial of just us going out in the community. It gives a unique perspective for B-roll footage. That's what I mainly use mine for. Or when we have an event, I'm really up and away because you're not supposed to fly over top of people. So I get a long distance shot from what's going on, aerials, the building, stuff like that. Do you have a step-by-step video on setting up remote access? What product do you recommend? I mean, the only one I have is Chrome Remote Desktop, what I use. And yes, I do have a video on that. Zoom's radio. I had a Microsoft Zoom. Hello, AJ. My church runs an internet radio station. I want to ask if it is possible to transmit our audio to terrestrial radio station using V-band. You are outside of my range, my wheelhouse. What I would do is on the Facebook group, I would send a message to Chuck. Chuck actually works at a radio station, and he's a host. He would know that way better than me. Such is the beauty of everybody being having so many collaboration of so many people in media ministry. Samuel, I like your Tesla Plaid shirt. Thank you. How can I add the Osmo Pocket 2 to Prism Studio OBS? I don't think it can be, unless if the camera is able to connect and send its video stream over like RTMP or RTSP or something like that. There's no way to bring those directly in because I don't think the Pocket or any of those offer any type of HDMI output that needs to be connected or some way. So like looking at it, this is the Osmo Pocket 3. And don't believe there's an output that goes to that. So that's the mic. So it's got the sound. But again, mainly looking, does it offer some type of HDMI output that can go? If it doesn't, then no. Not a direct, or if it doesn't offer being able to send that stuff out directly, then no. There's no way I am aware of that could work. See, that's just charging. Like, if you can't hook this up and get a video feed out of that, then no. Footage, no. Again, just glancing through this. Live stream. All right, so it supports all right, so if it supports this is what you could do. And it says it can support as a webcam. I mean, if it supports as a webcam over USB, then you should just be able to plug it in and it will work that way. Now, the hack you could do, because I did this with my drone, I set up you could have this, if it supports custom platforms to stream to, have this stream to your computer, and then your computer takes that feed and goes to OBS. That could be done. I used to do that with my drone. I would have the drone, the Mavic, could actually live stream, but it wasn't fast enough. So I had it live stream. It was on my Wi-Fi, had it streamed to my computer, which is a faster connection, and then my computer captured that signal and then live streamed it somewhere else. So that could work. I am new with the Elgato Stream Deck and try to use it with my PTZ camera. Is there a site or is it easy to create pan, tilt, and zoom? I would reach out to Mike here. He would be more knowledgeable of that. Or Aaron, who's that guy? Aaron Patel. No, not Aaron Patel. It is, where is he at? Hold on, I'm going to my subscriptions and I can pull him up. This guy, I think he has something on that. To show how to change that. So I believe he does have one that covers that. Oh, and for the 3D printing, those 3D mounts like that, that's what I'm talking about making as well too. So yeah, that's who I would recommend. I will put a link to his channel there, and I would check him out. I personally have not set it up to control through my Stream Deck because I have a joystick. That's why I never have done that. I guess when I can find some free time, I'll look at that. Back to Miriam. What is a budget camera for church photography, and should we involve youth? Let me answer that second one. Yes, you should involve youth in everything. Always succession planning. Always bring other generations into what you're doing. Do you have any general rules for youth involved in media or short application to see interest? I have a video that talks about how to get youth more involved that kind of would answer a lot of that stuff in depth, and that would help with the application of interest. And then a budget camera, honestly, any camera is a good place to start. Again, I don't know what your budget is. Like this camera right here, I consider this is a budget camera. Again, this was around like $700. You can go way higher than that. You can go way lower than that. It all depends. And you know what? I think Mjolnir is throwing off the print. I think that's why it's shaking like that. And that's the wrong camera. Wait a minute. Which one are you looking at? That one. Yeah, this thing is all over the place. But that's what I would say. It all depends on what you would call budget. Give me a price and we'll see. Again, I'm not a big photography dude. Mine would have to be tied into some type of video. That's why I got this one, because people were complaining about my phone and was using this. And then I got this and people wanted a gimbal and then better sound. I mean, it's a never ending thing. But I went with the first one and this is the second one. I'm very happy with that. Takes great pictures. And I haven't changed it, but this does have changeable lenses, so you could get something else if you wanted to. Phil's AV, hello, hello, good morning to you as well. Back to Matthew. Can you set up a PTZ camera to have a wide shot and zoomed in shot using an A10 Mini and just one? I mean, yeah, you could. That's not going to be necessarily with the ATEM. It's only going to be one feed into the ATEM, but the PTZ can have multiple positions that are saved in that can be triggered to give you those shots. That's similar to the shot that I had here. When I do this, I kick over to, this is shot number 2, but I go to shot number 1. It's just one button press, and it cuts over to that. So you could get another shot automatically like that saved into the camera, and mine is fed into the ATEM. So I don't know if that will solve your issue, but if you're looking for one that's perpetually a wide shot and always a close shot going into the ATEM, no, I'm not aware of that. Michael, are you getting a contact high from the smells coming from your printer? I heard the filaments can be uh, odorific. No, this one actually is not. It's the different types of filament that I'm learning. This is PLA. It smells like glue and plastic burning, melted, but it's not bad, really. I've been here the entire time. Granted, I do have a fan right here, but no, I had this running the entire night, and no, I did not have anything like that. Yes, I have used Ecamm Live. I know Monty uses it as well too. A lot of people use that versus having an ATEM Mini. Well, it all depends. The Ecamm Live is just a software that's going to need to bring in something. Again, like I use, even though my ATEM can stream, I'm using it more of a switcher, and vMix is handling this. Or I could send this over to Ecamm Live, OBS, Prism Live. Any of them could do that. So yes, they can do the same functions, but they're not the same thing. Ecamm Live is a lot more flexible in what it can do with layers and graphics and stuff like that. The ATEM, you have to feed into that to do all those things. So you could use Ecamm Live by itself, but it would be very costly to try and bring in all the cameras that what the ATEM can do. I think a good marriage between the two is a good thing. What software would you use to create an instructions guide and on how to understand the media and what we do? Well, if you, I was getting ready I didn't want to come off smart when I say this, but I mean, what software? Everything that I do, every video, what you're seeing me live stream with right now, instead of me live streaming, I would just be recording it, and this is how I make my instructional videos. I use DaVinci Resolve to edit everything that I use. Um, and before that, I used to use Sony Vegas. And then I could use iMovie. You could use Windows Movie Maker if that's still around. So any of them, it's not really necessarily the instructions. I mean, you could just record it directly from your phone or your camera and not need any editing at all. But again, how I do mine is everything that I'm using right here. This is what I use to make all of my stuff, and I use DaVinci Resolve to make the edits of my videos. My neck. I am in Virginia. I'm on a NEI. Good morning. Can you recommend a good brand powered box speaker for church? Well, it all depends on the speaker size. If you want 8-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch, 15-inch. I've been very partial to the Alto line. That's what I've been using. And then the Electra, I would say if I want to go cheaper than the Altos, I would go Behringer. I don't use those a lot. It's the Altos, then Harbingers, and then you start getting into like the JBLs, the QSCs, and things like that. Philip Paul says, I uploaded a video to the Facebook group, just got the new PC, but how can I get the mouse cursor above? As now it is hidden behind the option. I would have to look at that. I don't understand what that is. I would have to see that to actually be able to help with that. JHB, and I got to be mindful of the time because I got to head over to the VA and do some blood work that I didn't do yesterday. So we're gonna probably cut this a little short today. I'm looking to add lyrics to our live stream. We have an ATEM and stream via OBS, which works fine. Is Pro Presenter or Easy Worship better to add lyrics? They're the exact same process. Either one will work. Originally, we started with Easy Worship when I was at Antioch. Then we moved to Pro Presenter and then did stuff with Presenter. All the same settings are exactly the same. We just changed the software. The ATEM and OBS settings never changed, and it just worked the same way. Matt, I would, like I said, I am stretched very, very thin. And what I would do, I've wanted to do stuff like that. I just don't. Um, let me see. I'm gonna go through about like this last page, and then we're gonna be shutting it down for the day, folks. Jody, my pastor is wanting to check out surround sound for our sanctuary. Interesting. What is your thoughts on this? Right now, we have 3 mains that are 1,000 watts each, plus 5 floor monitors for the stage. I guess my question would be, what's the reasoning that he wants surround sound? Like, meaning that if you have surround sound, then you would have to mix everything to be surround as well too. And I understand it from a movie standpoint, and maybe the terminology is different. Surround sound for me is like a movie theater, a home theater, to where somebody is in the movie and a laser blaster comes from this way. I want to hear it from there. Or if in Star Trek and a photon torpedo is coming from behind, I want to hear it from that direction. Do you want to hear a praise Jesus in the back right or the back left or the upper right, or so are you saying more that you want surround sound coming as if it's from completely around you, or do you just want sound to actually be represented in a 3-dimensional space where that sound is coming from? Those are 2 different things. But which one is that? If it's I want the sound to come from like it's in a 3-dimensional place, I would be like, why? Not in the not in like, oh my God, why would you want that? No, I really would like to know, because I've never even thought about doing something like that. Because you're introducing having to mix that sound in those environments as well too, and you would need a way different mixer to do something like that. Back to Bass Slayer. Is routed from 9 and 10 going over to the Blackmagic XLR. Not sure if the control software in the Blackmagic is set up properly. That's the first thing I would check, because when it comes to the ATEM, now I'm going to bring up the Constellation as well. The Constellation, I'm not going to do that because it doesn't give me any options for that. So like here in my audio, when it's coming in, this is my audio coming in. I can see it's coming in on both channels because I'm coming from my Rodecaster left and right, that's joined into a 3.5, and it's coming that right there. So like, for example, if I unplug this, I unplugged one of the channels. Now I'm only coming in on the right. you know. So it makes me think if you're not getting both, there's something that's coming in that way. Maybe the other channel, the other channel is not enabled or something like that. And I just realized I still had this mic on the Rode Wireless. That's the other one that y'all were talking about. I use both of them. This one is just not as easy to add to my phone. That's the only thing I can think of. If it's coming out stereo, then it has to be something in between that's causing that issue. Good morning, D. Let's see. Back to Matthew. Do you feel like 2020 and online church streaming has actually hurt the church in regards to church attendance and people actually being a part of a community? No, absolutely not. I've known of people who they actually were able to participate more in church because of online. And then when we were able to get together, those people actually physically came to the church. I know of people personally who've done that. They worship with a ministry completely online. And then when it opened up, they physically came to the church and joined. I know people personally who've done that. So no. Now, I will say some people will say it got, and I've seen this in total with all the ministries I've seen. Yeah, they've lost members. But those were the people that, what's the nicest way I could say this? It was a convenient opportunity for them to leave anyway. They were going to leave anyway. But people, the ministries who have actually made this a viable branch of ministry, not as a replacement, but an enhancement, all of them have prospered. Yes, every ministry has lost people. Because of situations, but most of them that have embraced that, they've compensated more than what they've lost. So no, I don't feel it's been down in any way, shape, or form. At Akon, whenever I plug my stereo cable from my mixer main out to my ATEM Mini Pro, there's always a hissing sound while I'm plugged in. Do you have the ATEM set to line in instead of mic? I would check that first. Don, what is the best way to distribute video within the sanctuary? We have one PC and we split the congregation view between the stream and in the church. We would also like to add a stage monitor. Well, it all depends on what I typically would do is have everything ran into an ATEM that normally organizes that, and then it gives me separate outputs. I'm going to finish the video for the constellation, and I will talk about that as well too, because it allows you it has 12 outputs, so you can route different outputs to everything from there. So, adding a different monitor, you have 12 unique distinguishable outputs that you could configure, and then you can link as many monitors to that. So it all depends. If you're just doing it from a computer, ultimately you're going to have to add some type of splitter to it. And then after a while, when you start adding a whole bunch of splitters, it will probably be easier just to do a matrix to do all of that as well. Des W. Good morning, AJ and family. I recently completed my second upgrade for a church with monitors and PTZ cameras and sound system. Thanks for the confidence from your YouTube channel. I joined the Facebook group. Awesome, and congratulations. Chad, hey, good morning. Miriam was saying the budget is about $400 to $500. So let me, if I can actually type into the right place. Let me look up something real quick before I cut over to this. Change 400 to 500. Well, that's kind of what I was looking for. This camera is good. Plus, you can change the lens on this. This is the Lumix G7. It actually does good with video, and that's with comes with a lens. You might want to get some replacement lenses for that, but I would think that would be a good start. I mean, you're right at the cusp of your budget, but this one I think is really good. I actually was looking at getting one of these back in the day, and that's the Panasonic Lumix G7. All righty, let's see. We got two more, then we're going to fire this away. Well, this is a comment from Reverend Leroy. When it comes to cameras, their shortcomings are shortness of record time and having clean HDMI out. I would also say power, because if you're using them for like video, they might die off. Ray, hello. Mitch Roy, you're welcome. Mark, Photon Torpedo, exactly. You are welcome. And I think that is about it. Like I said, folks, be on the lookout. I need to finish editing. Well, not editing. It's already been done. I need to make the Constellation HD live. I need to add the description and all that other stuff to that. I'm going to do that shortly before I head out to the doctor. And I think, not the doctor, but just get some labs done. But anyway, folks, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to all of my Patreon and YouTube members. Don't pause on me now. It was just working. Come on now. I'm just going to have to play it the old way. I don't know why it was doing that. I rendered it this morning, and it was working perfectly fine. Where's that? There it goes. Supporters. So, again, I want to give a big, come on now. Let me give a big shout out to Patreon supporters and YouTube members. Really appreciate that. If you like what we do here and I bring value to you folks and you want to give some support, you can click the join button down below and to join as a YouTube member, or you can go to patreon.com/AJaytheCEO. And we do other stuff like I'm going to start releasing more of these videos that haven't been released. Send it over to them. Again, they are not edited, not to my bestest of work, but that's what we want to put out there. And again, just want to give a big thank you to all those who have given me support over the years. And I think that is about it, folks. I hope y'all have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever you is, and just realize you are important. Not just the talent that you have, you are important. Please make sure if you're the head of any media ministry, I've been meaning to make this video, but I haven't had a chance to do it. Media booth, I need to record it, probably do it this evening. But if you're ahead of your media ministry, check on your folks. Not check on them just because they're not there, or you might miss their talent, or if you're a pastor especially, check on them as the person. I've had the feeling a lot of times that people don't give two craps about AJ. They care about what I can do, what talents I have, what abilities I have. You don't want people to always think that way, and always try to be the person that you needed when you were in a tough situation. So let people know. Have some time to sit down with your media team. Just go out, get some pizza, go to a movie, go bowling, do something so that you realize that they are important because of the individual, not just because of the talents that they have, or they're the best photographer, videographer, graphic editor. Show them that, because you'll be surprised. A lot of people are hurting that you don't know about. And this is one of those things. Just show people that you actually care, not just about their talent, that you miss their presence, not their gifts. All right. So anyway, I hope y'all have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are, folks. Appreciate it, and we'll be seeing y'all on the next video, folks. Later.